Hey Manny, today we'll be reacting to another FLEEKAZOID video. This one's titled The Worst Games of 2024, and based on the thumbnail, I can guess what games are going to be on there. We got the Suicide Squad, I believe, the Concord, and we got Helldivers. I would assume because of the whole Sony account, if you buy it on Steam, you still need a Sony account, and some countries don't support a Sony account, stuff like that. So I guess it's going to include games that are good, but then became bad, and then I think became good again. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, because definitely Concord, and definitely the what was that one? I forget. It was like the whole point of the game was like to be triggered. I already forgot the name of that game, but there's also a lot of bad shovelware on Steam as well. But I don't think they're gonna mention it, but we'll see.
Welcome back to the 10th anniversary of the Worst Game Awards. I'm Jaw Fleeky, and today we're gonna bring all your favorite franchises up on stage and execute them right in front of your eyes while all these idiots clap. Hey, yeah. All right, go ahead, bring that first one up here. Fuck you, Fable. Now, before we get into the worst games, if you're expecting Dustborn to top this list, you can go ahead and unexpect that, right?
Yeah, that game. It looks like, based off what I've seen, I originally thought that game was a rhythm game, based off like the one thing I saw, because it looked like a poorly made rhythm game that what was it? IAVT did much better on the Vita. So
before we get into the worst games, if you're expecting,
we can use Trigger to increase our attack power against robots. But why would robots care if you're triggered or not?
Dustborn
I
to
don't
top
know.
this list, you can go ahead and unexpect that right now. I see Dustborn on the same level as Furry, Hitler, or any of the other hundreds of random shovelware that flops on Steam every day. And if you're
Hey, he didn't mention it. But I mean, I guess he's not going to actually talk about it, but he did mention it.
You're saying, Fleek, you son of a bitch, there's a big difference between those two. You're right. One of them has a sequel. But I'm getting off track. The point is, as far as I'm concerned, Dustborn did it right. Go kill off.
One of them has a sequel for now. Who knows if they're going to be a Dustborn 2.
As a sequel. But I'm getting off track. The point is, as far as I'm concerned, Dustborn did it right. Go kill off your own franchise with your own bullshit over there where no one will ever see it, instead of over here on a franchise I like, because that's how we get number 5, Dragon Age the Veilguard. They were so focused on making their own self-inserts that they forgot to make a fucking Dragon Age game. It had bland combat, shallow RPG mechanics, and the best part of the story is when it ends. You know it's bad when gamers are more interested in what your fired employees are making. In that right, Todd? Yeah, you short bitch. Number 4,
Yeah. Oh, Helldivers is 4. Okay. I want to see what he says about it. But yeah, I recently seen some shorts of a person playing Dragon Age Veilguard, going through like the dialogue options, and in one of the clips it showed like it showed that I forgot their name, but it showed them, like the controversial character, I should say. It showed them just misnaming another person, and that person didn't want to be misnamed, and it's like they're doing the same thing that they don't want others to do. It's very, very weird, right? I don't know if like it's very not Dragon. Like I haven't played the original one, but I don't remember things like that happening. But yeah, let's see Helldivers.
Yeah, you short bitch. Number 4, Helldivers 2 from March to September. Now you may be wondering why the hell this game is higher than Veilguard, and that's because they actually released a great game, then ruined it almost immediately. How the hell do you go from being this year's biggest sensation to its biggest disappointment in less than a month? It took me 20-something years to do that. Turns out it's actually pretty easy. First, they banned the game in 177 inferior countries. God bless America, American titties, American guns, and American fireworks. Their words, not mine. And then after they cut the player count by 75%, their only question was, how do we get the other 25? By nerfing just about everything.
I have not heard about that. Like the only thing I've really heard about is the Sony account thing, but decreased magazine capacity from 16 to 13, increased the recoil. Okay. Decreased armor penetration, decreased damage against durable enemy parts, why it's a railgun. It should be like strong, at least based off every other game I played that has a railgun in it. Let's see. The slugger, reduced stagger, reduced damage, reduced demolition force. Okay. Grenade pistol, decreased ammo capacity from 8 to 6. Increased the number of rounds replenished from ammo box from 2 to 4. Sure. So incendiary, decreased number of magazines from 6 to 4. Increased recoil. Okay. Decreased damage from 300 to 275. Decreased damage by 30%. Wow. And then sickle, decreased amount of magazines from 6 down to 3. So basically cut it down by half. Ugh. Same with the eruptor. Explosion damage drops off slightly. Oh, jeez.
Just about everything players like, and then justifying those nerfs by saying, "Give it a chance."
Just trust me, bro. Trust me. Just trust me. We're doing the right thing. Just no. It doesn't matter if you were having fun before. Just you're gonna have more fun now, right?
No, but it's all water under the bridge now because they unnerfed everything and dropped a fantastic new update. Okay. Yeah, 177 countries are still banned, but peace has returned to Helldive. Motherfucker! Todd, I'm sorry about what I just said before. Get up here. I got a handcrafted trophy for you. Just kidding. It's an empty box. Fuck off my stage. Go back to your booster seat. Number 3. How can we forget about this year's biggest loser?
Concord?
The quadruple XL flop overweight watch. Concord, did you not just hear what I said? I said die.
So I think Concord, Concord, and then I don't know. One of them will have to be the quadruple A game, since like what he said just reminded me of that. The quadruple A pirate game, was it? That looked worse than a game from years ago, I think. So yeah, I think that's gonna be on there if that's 2024. That has to be 2024, but I don't. I don't know what one of them's gonna be.
Where no one else will see it. When you spend $400 million fucking dollars, now I gotta see it. Despite everyone attributing the failure of Concord to the oversaturated market of hero shooters, it actually came at the perfect time to penetrate the market, fellas.
Because if you look at it, like, there's still plenty of people that still play hero shooters. Like, look at Marvel Rivals. That's, I mean, for right now, it's kind of healthy. And then from the time I played, Stranova was, I mean, it had players, right? Then that game had a map that was a complete copy of an Overwatch map. So
somehow, after 8 years of development hell, they managed to perfectly line up their release date to be exactly when Overwatch fell off and left a wide open door for any decent hero shooter to take their spot. Now, unfortunately for Concord, that door was not wide enough for DAW, so Marvel Rivals slipped in there instead. Here's the slow and wide. I don't need to play as characters that deadlift 400 pounds every time they get up from a chair, because one's more than enough. Other than making Overwatch worse by putting its gameplay on DAW's diet and budget cutting the roster, the only unique value out of Concord was that they were gonna add weekly cinematics. Sony, not again. Come over here. Listen, we already have 15 seasons.
Well, how? Like, it's gonna have weekly cinematics when you log into the game to see the characters interact with each other and advance their lore. But that costs money that they weren't pulling in, that they should have known that they weren't gonna pull in based off the beta, right? Isn't that the whole point of having a beta, just to estimate how many players are gonna be playing at launch? Am I just wrong here? I mean, I don't work for a game company, so.
Gonna add weekly cinematics. Sony, not again. Come over here. Listen, we already have 15 seasons of Man vs. Food. We didn't need to see Dog over another 20. You finally made a game that didn't have 30-minute walk and talk alongs, and it won Game of the Year. Look at that, buddy. Todd.
Yeah, like, how much budget did Astrobot have? And that game was amazing. I mean, granted, it's a different genre, but that game was amazing. And how like the budget for like Marvel Rivals, like games like Stranova, it's probably less than Concord, and they did fine. It's just make a good game, and secondary have characters that people like to play and see play.
It wasn't even up there. No, it wasn't because he couldn't reach it, because of his short height and all. Anyways, what I'm saying is take a hint. please just surrender. I'm sorry, I meant Ubisoft, where you at? Number 2, Ubisoft, please just surrender to Tencent already. After all those times you Frenchies surrendered, now's when you start putting up a fight? But all kidding aside, Tencent's just a new flavor of shit, pimps. But Ubisoft, you've been fucking up for years. You kind of brought this on yourself. You've ruined half your IPs, the other half you've forgotten about. And because of your NFT game, I just discovered you got Rayman somewhere doing coke off a cowgirl's ass. Listen, I'll wish list that and research that later. It's not the point. The point is they're at number 2 because Ubisoft made...
Oh, it's every Ubisoft game, not just a quad A game, which is what's shown here. It's so I guess does that even include Assassin's Creed, the new one? Because I guess technically that's coming out in 2025, so maybe that's gonna be in that year's video.
So much dog shit this year, I had to lump it into one worst games league and take over the entire goddamn list. This year's been a mad dump of blanks for them. They started 2024 by launching their quadruple A mobile game that cost them a couple $100 million to make.
Even that cost less than wait, was Concord 40 million or 400? My memories. Yeah, 400. The quad A game cost less than Concord to make. What? What?
Which started as a Black Flag DLC, by the way, so I guess they spent 11 years and $200 million making that game worse. Then they launched the Call of Duty killer X Defiant, which was killed by Call of Duty. Star Wars Outlaws was so boring, not even the people who bought it played it. And they capped off the year by delaying the final nail in their coffin to 2025, replacing their big finale instead with not one, but 2 NFT games. Be honest with me now, you...
2? I've heard of one.
Instead, with not one, but 2.
So I guess I haven't heard of this one. I think I've heard of the other one before, but
not one, but 2.
Yeah, I think it was this one that I've heard of, but not the I didn't know they made a wow.
2 NFT
They're desperate.
Be honest with me now, Ubisoft. How much of Rayman's supply did you inhale to cook up these brilliant ideas? Did you guys make this in a weekend? And if so, why? Ubisoft flopped so many games this year, now they gotta pray for some El Salvadorian cartel to launder money via snow-sniffing Rayman NFTs. Moving on. No, wait, hang on a second. I forgot that they launched Prince of Persia at the beginning of this year. Nah, it's alright. So did everyone else. But this last game is unforgettable. Truly, some magical things had to happen for this to align with our big 10th anniversary
I really don't know.
Things
Honestly, don't know.
may not have ever seemed a possibility. If you truly love video games like I do, this moment is for all of us. And the winner of this year's worst game of the year is Todd. Sit your ass back down. You can't even win a worst game award. No, Suicide Squad. Bye.
Oh, I even mentioned that in the beginning. I completely forgot about that game. I guess a lot of people have as well.
Arkham Batman, at least this time the chair's leather.
Okay.
I bet you forgot.
I wasn't expecting that to be number 1. Honestly, out of the ones in this list, I would have put. I guess I would have put Ubisoft number 1 just because it's a collective of games, not just a singular game. And it takes some skill, I guess, or lack of skill, to make a lot of good IPs bad. And then Concord would be 2, and then I guess Suicide Squad 3. No, Dragon Age Veilguard 3, and then Suicide Squad 4, and Helldivers 5.
This piece of shit even came out this year. So did I. I just added it 5 minutes before I was about to publish the video. Listen, I've got 3 videos on this game. I'm done talking about it. The game was bad, the cash shop was bad, and all the post-launch content was like an IV drip of cyanide. We got the Twinkler, Mr., Mrs., Freeze Fire, whatever they identify as. Then we got the social justice daughter of a hitman, and then just a chill guy. After all that, we got a regular old comic book character. Truly amazing. Their death rattle was a moment of clarity. Good for you, Rocksteady, but I'll never forget you took our Batman from Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, and Arkham Knight, then shot him not on a lazy boy, not on a Natuzzi sofa, not on a lawn chair with a soft padded seat that has floral embroidery, but on a park bench. Fuck you, Rocksteady. The only thing you should be remaking is your resume for when your studio shuts down. I will never let this go. My hate for this game is generational. I'm gonna put my hate for this game in my will so my grandkids inherit that shit. Then I'm gonna take all my anger and go have a wonderful time with my family. And I hope all you pimps have a holly jolly Christmas too. Treat yourself. Go get the new Stellar Blade update. And on January 4th
There's a
at
new
7
update?
p.m. EST, be sure to stop by the Fleek Awards.
I mean, I guess this was released technically last year, so.
Back down to see all these games fight in the ring. Come see Power World fight off 20 of Nintendo's lawyers. Come see Tall Howard body slam Geoff Keighley through a steel cage. You won't want to miss it. I don't care if your firstborn son's being born, projected onto the wall, because he won't want to miss it either. January 4th, 7 p.m. Be there.
All right. So yeah, those are the worst games of 2024 according to FLEEKAZOID. And I mean, aside from the ordering, which is subjective and based off their like people's own opinions, I agree. Yeah, even for, like I said, the shovelware stuff aside, right? Those games were just, and it happens every year, right? I don't know if it happens to like a more known, because I mean my memory's terrible. I don't remember in 2023. I know one of them was Forspoken. So I mean there's just flops every year. There's great games every year. So yeah, just be diligent with money, I guess, or sell the. No, actually, I shouldn't promote that. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this great FLEEKAZOID video. I think there's another one, but it's like some hours long. I need to check what that is about. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, thank you for watching and have a nice day.